All right, this is lesson 4.2 on page 278. Please turn to that page and get a pen or a pencil. I will be checking these notes to make sure that you are doing these problems with me. All right, this is a relation. A set of ordered pairs is called a relation. The x coordinate, your x number, is called the domain. And your y coordinate, your y values, are called the range. So you can represent relations in a table of values. Remember, the first column is your x, the second column is your y. And you can represent a relation in a graph. You can graph your ordered pairs. Okay, so let's look at the very first problem. Follow along with me. The first problem says express the relation, and then it gives you this set of ordered pairs, this relation, as a table and a graph. Then state the domain and range. So first, what you would do was you would draw a x and y table, a table of values. Make your first column the x, the second column your y, and then place your ordered pairs in the table. 2, 6, negative 4, 8, negative 8, negative 3, 6, and then 0, negative 4. The second thing you're going to do is graph the ordered pairs. So you're going to use graph paper if we had to come up with our own coordinate plane, but here we're just going to make sure that we've graphed these correctly. Remember, you move along the x-axis first, so you would go over 2, and this is counting by 2s, so you would go over 2 and then up to 6. So that would be your first point. Negative 4, negative 8. Go over to negative 4 and up and down to negative 8. That would be your second point. Negative 3, 6. So negative 3 would be in the middle of negative 2 and negative 4, and then up to 6. That would be your third point, and then 0, left or right 0, and then down to negative 4. So then once you graph your ordered pairs, you make a table of values, you graph your ordered pairs, and then you state the domain and the range. So you can write the word domain, and then this is saying that this is a set. You're going to name your x numbers. The domain are your x values. So 2, negative 4, negative 3, and 0. These are your domain. These y values are your range. So then you would write range and name the y values. 6, negative 8, 6, and negative 4. So because 6 shows up twice, we don't need to write it twice. We just need to name it once. You can also name the domain and range like this. Negative 4, negative 3, 0, 2. And then close your set. And you can also name the range using an R. And then negative 8, negative 4, and 6 are the range. Okay, so look at the very top of page 279. Let's try this. So this says express the relation. And it gives you these 4 ordered pairs as a table and a graph. So let's first write it as a table. You're going to place these points in the table. Negative 5, 2, 3, negative 1, 6, 2, 1, 7. And now let's graph them. Remember, move left or right first. And again, this graph looks like it's counting by 2s. So negative 5 would be here, 2. Negative 5, 2 would land right there. 3, negative 1 would land right here, right in the middle of this, because this is negative 2, this first line. 6, 2. 6, 2 would land there. And 1, 7 would land right here. And obviously you're not going to connect any of these points with a line because these do not form a linear line. And then now let's name the domain and range. The domain are your x values. Domain are your x values. So you're going to name these 4 numbers as your domain. Negative 5, 3, 6, 1. And they don't have to be in that order as long as they're all named. The range are your y values. So you're going to name all the y values in your range. So I'm going to write 2, negative 1, and 7 because 2 shows up twice. I don't need to write it twice. I just need to name it once. Okay, take a look at number 2. Now, number 2 says it costs $3 per hour, $3 per hour to park at the Wildwood Amusement Park. So the first thing you want to do is make a table of ordered pairs in which the x-coordinate represents the hours. So this is how many hours you're at the park. And the y-coordinate represents the total cost. And then it tells you which numbers you're going to use for the hours. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to place 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the hours column, in the X. These are your X values. So now, if it's $3 per hour, you would multiply all these by $3. So 3 hours times $3 per hour would be 9. 4 hours times $3 per hour would be 12. 5 hours times $3 per hour would be $15. And 6 hours times $3 per hour would be $18. So then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you label the hours, the time goes along your x-axis. The y is your total cost, so that goes along your y-axis, and then you're going to graph your ordered pairs. So 3, 9 over 3 up to 9. Graph 4, 12 over 4 up 12. Graph 5, 15 over 5 up 15. And then graph 6, 18 over 6 and up 18. All right, let's try one more. Let's do the got it problem. You're going to do this with me right on your book at the very bottom of page 279. A movie rental store charges $3.95 per movie rental. Make a table of ordered pairs in which the x-coordinate represents the number of movies. So over here, you're going to write number of movies. And the y-coordinate represents the total cost. So this will be your cost. And it's telling you to use 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the movies. So you're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 in your X column for the number of movies. So now if it's $3.95 per movie, you're going to now multiply each one of these numbers by $3.95 to come up with your total cost. So this would be $3.95. This would be $7.90. And the next one would be $11.85, and then $15.80. So now you have to make sure that you're labeling your X and Y axis correctly. So X-axis is the number of movies. The Y-axis is your total cost. You should be filling this in with me. I will look at it tomorrow. And then what you're going to do is graph these 4 points. So we're going to go over one movie and up to $3.95. So it's going to be about right there, just below the 4. Over 2 movies and up to $7.